Thank you very much, Rafa. This was my resignation letter. I don't know if you can see. Oh, you cannot see. It was addressed
got
to
blown out.
Sick Esports Inc., which is our company's legal name. And I do not need it anymore because we have an absolute banger on our hands, man. This is no org tied 1-1 versus Barrage. And I did just forget what came after no, but I was there for the first part. My name's TJ, joined by Matt, Niberia, Clint, Daniel, and we are good to go.
It's no org. Don't worry
No
about it.
bad series, here it comes.
Woo! What he meant by that was that it's a great series in case the pause confused anyone, because it is. We got banger after banger. Game 2, so much better. So much better. Thank you, Barrage. Thank you for finally showing up. Actually, really, it was just don't have a terrible early game. And turns out, you're a really great team, and you do great.
Yeah. Barrage's team fights, it turns out, are really great. And that was what I was looking for, because we talked this up all draft long, all pre-show long. They have a sick bottom lane. When they play to it, they can enable really great team fights that are near unparalleled in Cup. Certainly in Cup, maybe in the SGC, broader conversation to have. And we finally got to see that. We finally got to see Barrage enable that team fight synergy, and it came from playing to Gorka in the bot lane, and a sick Rel combination from Fnatic and Winter. My mind was blown.
Yeah, and I think going into this game, we already see no org have responded. A lot of the time, we did not see in the last series anyone responding in pick ban to the things that Barrage were doing. They have banned out the Galio, and it is a damn good idea that they did.
I was real convinced we would see either a Rel or a Nocturne ban. We do see instead a Rel first pick from no org. Barrage now need to work out another sick combo. Hecarim Orianna banned away. Rel Nocturne picked away. What do you do?
Well, I mean, the Nocturne's still available, and I don't think the strength was necessarily because of the Rel alongside it. Rel was her own strength. Oh!
Well, okay, so this is what I was going to get to. I think part of the strength of the Nocturne was that it was into Udyr. I think that was part of the reason why it looked so good for Fnatic, so it makes sense that they don't want to first pick Nocturne. The fact that they instead steal away the Udyr is a lot of fun, and we're going to double invest in that because we also get an Alistar over to Barrage. They are going all in on these team fights.
I'm just waiting for that pick to go through, TJ. I have other things to say, but I'm so intrigued by that hover. I do want to say that this bot lane for Winter, Alistar is one of like the picks to go to for Winter in terms of engages. So I'm excited to see that sets up for whatever AD carry you want. But that combination that Barrage have been using for the past 2 games as their linchpin has been taken away wholesale by no org.
We do get the Kai'Sa taken away here, so it will not be Alistar Kai'Sa. And that actually does raise a question. Gorka wants to play a scaling AD carry. There are a couple that are viable right now.
It's
so
just a respect hover because they did it for Aesol.
Yeah, this was something that Firefire played yesterday. My was dedicated towards the Azir. I realized immediately that could be confusing. I assume this Veigar won't go through. It isn't an APA's pool, but that would be fun.
It is now, TJ!
It does come through. Okay, so the Veigar was something we saw yesterday come out from Firefire specifically to deal, in fact, with this kind of thing. It is real good anti-team fight. Veigar X Infinity results in pentakill. Because if you wait long enough, Veigar will always have a stupid amount of damage. And this puts an emphasis, I think, on shutting down the Veigar from no org, and that is not currently what they have drafted for. They want to fight front to back, except now you can't fight front to back, not into Veigar.
Yeah, Veigar is one of those champions that building AP can literally just shred through tanks just because of the raw damage he puts out. His weakness is that he can be very easily disrupted and moved. Like, he has no positioning abilities whatsoever, much like Syndra. So I'm interested to see how this pans out. Didn't pan out great for Firefire. That's the only comment I will make further on the pick until we see it in game, because I have very little experience with it. I would like to see this Jhin locked in for Gorka, though.
We hover it. So this was where I was going to go before. Jhin is the go-to pick if you want a scaling AD carry right now that isn't Kai'Sa. And I don't really agree with it because it can struggle into tanks such as Rel. So I think this Jhin is going to be hard-pressed to succeed. Gorka is going to need to leverage it through the mid-game. And I'm not entirely sure I believe in Barrage's ability to activate picks in the mid-game because they have so frequently struggled with macro. So I'm worried we'll get to a late-game state where Gorka's not able to actually find the value of a Jhin just because they've gotten too late and there is too much tank.
I think the highlight that I'm going to pull out, though, of Barrage's composition is this is really good at finding a pick and bursting them down instantly. Yeah. That's what this combo of DPS dealers is incredibly good at. You've got the Rage Cage coming out with Gorika's Burst. That's going to be the Mundo jungle locked in for no org.
The wins keep going, Matt. Okay, so we have seen Mundo before in Cup. We have seen Mundo, I believe, before from Anda in Cup. And it is real good. By good, I mean fun. It kind of has the same problem that Udyr does, which is you just kite Mundo. It's not too hard. There you go. 17% win rate overall. By good, I mean fun, not winning a lot of games. So I will say it.
As I recall, though, TJ, is that it is a counter into Udyr.
Yeah.
You have tenacity, you have rundown to chase out that Udyr, you have great 1v1 potential into the Udyr, but that first clear is rough.
It also does work well into the Jhin. What's a Jhin gonna do to Mundo? But you do have this problem, and it is named APA. We saw a games 1 and 2 where it was obvious they wanted to play through Gorika. This game is APA's game. He's no longer playing a utility mid laner. He's no longer playing a mid laner that's going to be roaming as much around the map. This is APA's chance to try and win out mid lane, dominate it, and turn that into being an unstoppable teamfight carry. We did see this during Barrage's semi-final. These were the Orianna games that APA was able to pull out for his team. If you give APA engage tools, he's actually very good at using them. So I'm optimistic for Barrage's draft. I do think they've come out on top here, provided APA manages to find value. If he doesn't, then I'm a little more worried because eventually they do just get outscaled by what Noah can brought to bear.
It's a reshuffling of their game 1 strategy. Their goal is just to find value, find 5-fire, burst them out before they can contribute to the team fight, run it down from there. Barrage, though, have a lot resting on them in order to get that far. Last time, their early game was not fantastic. It took them until mid to bring things together. No org have that time to potentially push through to bring the series 2-1.
Yeah. Man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm psyched.
Hell yeah, me too. I really love seeing Mundo actually have a place in the meta. He's one of my favorite champions to play. I play him top lane because I hate him jungle, personally. The clear is a little rough, and I prefer just being unkillable in the top lane. But if he gets into the late game, the one consideration is that he may actually be able to tank through APA. Not all the way, but Mundo's E gives him a ton of stacking magic resist the more he's hit by spells, and his W will stack it for him. So he'll have a natural, I believe it stacks up to something like 30% magic resistance, plus tenacity in these fights. So I think it's a really uniquely good pick here, not just into the Udyr, but also into the Veigar. However, it has to get that far first. So I'm interested to see what Anda's going to be able to pull out.
5-fire in the mid lane versus APA was one of our highlighted matchups of the day coming into it. APA traditionally is a little bit more macro aware than 5-fire. That was one of the big lessons he talked about. Struggling with on EG, he was playing for the EG Academy side, 5-fire, and he was playing a more supportive role there, a more utility role there. That was peak utility mage, and they wanted somebody who would throw some CC, be valuable in fights, but not necessarily blow out lanes. And 5fire's never played like that. He learned to, but that's never been his wheelhouse. So
Yeah,
APA's kind
Mike Young
of the
forced
one
him to.
stepping out of their comfort zone here.
I think this mid lane itself is going to be quiet for a little bit here, but as the game goes on, I mean, again, mid lane 2v2. Something to look forward to in this case because there's a lot of CC now in that 2v2. Lots of burst damage, lots of potential for it to be explosive.
Lots of potential for it to be a wild amount of fun, man.
Oh, hell yeah. I just want to see Mundo run through a team fight completely unscathed by all the damage. That's what I'm looking forward to this game.
Well, I mean, if APA doesn't find big early game Veigar spikes, you'll get at least one.
Okay, that's true.
Imagine an early game fight where APA is not ahead. Like, early game Jhin? What are you gonna do? And then if we get late game, I was talking about outscaling, you know, assuming APA, again, isn't a 1v5 threat, what on earth do Barrage have that's gonna scare a Mundo late game?
Yeah, that is where things get difficult because the real way to counter Mundo is just to kite him.
Yeah.
But how much kite can you possibly have, especially when you have 3 melees and your AD carry is fairly short-ranged?
So, worrying, Barrage needs to get those teamfight wins in the mid game again. Luckily, that is always to some extent the game plan.
TJ, did you see that Mundo skin? It was fabulous.
Show us the Mundo skin, producer Joe.
He's got like frills and stuff and a little saber. Look at him!
That is wonderful. My God.
Is there a Valentine's Day Mundo I didn't know about? The little heart on the back? Magnificent. As he just goes to try and steal buffs.
Yeah, we're losing track of that because we are so zoomed in, but this Mundo is in fact
He's
invading and never one to, you know, curtail that aggression. Frozen Prince Mundo with a pink chroma, says our producer Doc.
Thanks, Doc. That is actually important information for me because I've always been like, I love playing Mundo, but all of his skins suck. Well, I found one that doesn't.
Have you ever wished Mundo was hot?
Who hasn't, TJ? Who hasn't?
The people at Riot Games.
Clearly! They give Graves all these amazing skins. Mundo just gets these terrible, awful skins. Pool Party's pretty funny, but...
Oh, dive in. Winter will start things off. Stunned up. Pharomancy blown. Here's the turn. If Value can find it, he needs to get it. A 1-for-1 trade. Now both AD carries alone in lane. Value wins this in an auto-attack fight. Does dodge things out. Gorica, as a result, will back away.
Not sure who's happier about that one, honestly. I think both AD carries being the ones with kills, that's pretty much a wash. I would say that Gorica, with his first items, can become more useful. Just because of the raw damage output that Jhin has on 4th shot in those team fights. Even early on can contribute to them if the other damage dealers put plenty of damage down ahead of time. So that's what I'll be interested in seeing from him going forward. But he is struggling a little bit in terms of farm in this lane. Gorica is down 12 CS at the moment.
Which is not what you want to see. From, again, the AD carry that Barrage have kind of relied on to win team fights. I think that Kai'Sa will be a little scarier if we get an even trading game.
Ooh,
here is the plan, though. Boost APA out ahead. Stun will be found. First blood is found for our mid laner, APA. 5fire's in trouble as Fnatic keeps going in. This could be huge. Pulverize. Anda's all alone. Gets the turn. APA has to back away. Anda will get one right back. And APA, the Veigar, is on the run.
APA almost found the kill. Has to flash away. 5fire finds it. Gorica and Winter should be able to escape it. Anda now. And that was incredibly close to going all the way in Barrage's favor. The one thing APA didn't account for the tenacity from Mundo, getting out of that one so quickly.
They overstay as well. Barrage, good lord. They found the big blow up onto Big, and then just can't make anything else happen. I will put some flame on Winter. He missed a headbutt pulverize combo, which was really entertaining. That's why I didn't call it out at the moment, because I was having a lot of fun watching it. And that didn't help things. But Barrage, I don't think, should have chased that far forward. I think they should have backed away as soon as they got that first kill.
Yeah, Barrage, again, in the early game, this is a trend we have seen with them. They tend to be incredibly aggressive with the engages they take early on. And sometimes it pays off. Sometimes, like we're seeing here, it really bites them back. It's a lot like your laning, TJ.
Sure.
I thought you'd defend yourself. I thought you'd be like, no, my laning's great. I never do that.
Well, man, the thing is, nobody believes you. They know that I'm an all-star support. Everyone knows my Bard games are hot fire.
They're hot something, but not fire.
Electrocute Bard, say it back. First strike of the game is up. Barrage kind of been zoned off of them so far in the series, but they do love them normally. So here you go.
First one going to be taken off. It's going to be a trade for the Rift Herald up in the top lane. This is very likely just to show off priorities here, where Anda is thinking about getting Viper further ahead with that CS lead he's already established. APA blowing the ultimate a little bit too soon there. Not going to be able to get the assassination onto 5Fire.
Rough times, but 5Fire still knocked down in this lane, and APA has the blue buff, so he can do this all day.
Yeah, this is a lot better as well for APA, because finally he'll be able to farm those Q stacks as quickly as possible, which our sick producers, by the way, have put on the champion icon. 69 AP headed up there on APA.
Nice!
Nice.
Thanks, Matt.
It's good.
5Fire will be shoving this lane forward in the mid, as APA did have to back, doesn't have TP, blew that earlier, so only a slight CS advantage earned over that.
I'm interested in seeing how these bot lane trades are going to go, if anyone opts to take them, because I think if you find the start out engaged there from Winter, Gorica wins those, because you can just burst down value ahead of time. But I don't think either lane really wants to fight here. I think they're both farming up because they scale so well into the late game. So it really is just going to be another one of those games of we wait for the dragons, we wait for the barons, see what happens around those.
PCL from the bush, strikes forward, misses his first attack, and backs away.
Just the walk of shame back into the top lane bush. Like, you know what?
I didn't want to fight that anyway.
Mom, take me home. I don't want to be here anymore. This is a lame party.
All these nerds suck. You want me to care about CS or something?
PCL's doing a great job regardless. You know what? I hope he enjoys his birthday party.
Oh dear. That got substantially darker. PCL.
You've never seen a kid hate their own birthday party?
No.
Oh. I saw it once at a bowling alley. It was not great.
Actually, no. My little brother, at his 5th birthday party, everyone had to go home for the sleepover.
Oh, that's PCL's top lane.
But I didn't see that. I didn't see that. That is PCL's top lane. It might also be this mid lane. There's another kid coming over, named Shelly. Boom! Turret's down to 1 plate.
She's why everyone had to go home from the party. She broke the turret, and then no one gets to have fun.
She broke the plates!
That China cabinet was in their family for years. Now Barrage are going to have to pay for it out of their pocket. About 800 gold.
No Org able to earn out a 2,000 gold lead across this early game. And Barrage, you have to be a little worried for them. This is supposed to be their mid-game. 5Fire nearly falls, but will survive a full combo from APA.
so close every time. I think APA just needs like a sliver more AP. Fnatic finds the stun here. PCL, knockup after knockup, forces the flash from Viper, but that will be all that is forced here.
Viper zoned back, will survive. Here comes the rotate. And in lane, Hot Mundo is activated, and Fnatic's got to get out of here real fast. Challenging Smite will be spent, and Fnatic zooms on out.
I like the Everfrost Veigar here. This is one of those items that is super underrated by a lot of AP mid laners. The stun, or root rather, is really powerful, but also just the additional 15 AP for legendary items completed. The quick cooldown allows you to wave clear faster, especially helpful on Veigar, who outside of W, doesn't really wave clear. So I really like this.
And this clear is actually pretty quick.
Yeah, once Mundo gets rolling, he's really good. It's just the first clear that sucks because all of Mundo's abilities cost health.
Yeah.
So that first clear just gets real rough, but once you get your first item, it's smooth and natural as anything and fast as hell.
Mundo moving like a cow through a slip and slide. Winter will find a fight. Big T in trouble. APA for huge damage. Winter very low, has to flash away. Anda on the front lines. His TPs come in. PCL cancels the fight. And now Anda has to burn a flash to survive. Curtain call, Matt.
PCL looking for more. Dive into the event horizon, but APA forced to flash out. Finds big value, can't find anything else. Blue buff has been aggroed. Barrage might be looking for more. APA finds the stun. The shutdown goes to Gorica as PCL continues to chase on to value. Needs the dash.
Hey, can we get a Viper cam full screen? He's just been CSing all this time.
Got the picture.
He's just been living his best life.
Why he's called Viper, TJ?
Hell yeah. Great top lane vibes to take turrets to. He'll get that turret. He'll be in trade for a team fight and a Drake, though. And I am disgusted. Barrage gets so much out of that. It does not bring back the gold lead, which I believe still does rest with no org. However, it does mean that the gold is invested in the right places. Gorica and APA both benefit massively, and they get the second Drake of the game, putting them ever closer to what would be a real scary soul here.
Further in Barrage's defense, it really matters how much behind they are. Oh, that beautiful root coming out from APA.
Disgusting.
No ultimate available, no event horizon in range. Forces the flash from 5Fire nonetheless. So APA starting to get the hang of this Veigar.
Starting to ramp up on this Veigar. 3 stacks on the Dark Seal. That's what you have to keep your eye on. That will boost the Veigar out of this early mid-game into a terrifying 1v5 monster. And that is, to be clear, what Barrage have staked their game on. APA must provide that amount of damage for them to win late-game team fights.
And on that track, they're looking great. I mean, you look at it, APA 2-1-1 has the Sork Boots, has the Everfrost. That's all you need to start chunking people, as we saw. And 5Fire going for a more sustained damage route means that he's likely not going to be able to win these 1v1s against APA. But the Event Horizon or the Everfrost are both incredibly important here, because if you land one, you can land the other and secure a kill. If you land neither of them, you just die. So, of course, you're always operating on that tight line as this Veigar, but so far this lane has been going fantastically.
APA in mid will be zoned back. Here's a 3-man dive. Winter Hex flashes over the wall for style points, but the mid turret will fall nonetheless.
Slowly losing is the way I would describe Barrage right now, and depending on how slowly they lose, that becomes biding their time, looking for engages like this.
Oh, it depends on this. It depends on APA, and he's got himself another one. Anda will go down. Big on the run, will be able to get onto Gorica, but nothing more. Fnatic behind him. 5Fire joins the fight. Winter double pulverized. Gorica gets another. Curtain call. Event Horizon. Huge damage. 5Fire barely survives. And Barrage have pulled out another big team fight.
Gorica 3-0-0. This is what they're looking for. Their Jhin is getting scary, as is their Veigar. This fight starts out, Winter finds beautiful CC here, but then Big tries to make an escape, and Gorica is right there to catch him. Magnet Storm doesn't buy enough time for 5Fire to come in, who does, to his credit, find a beautiful disengage with this Emperor's Divide, but it's not enough to save the team fight. But it will be enough to save his life.
It's like so weirdly tanky. I don't quite know.
Yeah. It's the tiny little shield on E. It's deceptive.
We've managed to survive so many of these close-range engages. Yeah, so the tracker that we set up on APA is now beeping, Matt. It's one of those like car backing up alarms, and it's just going. Because APA is starting to hit the point where needs to be dealt with, needs to be robbed of Darkseal stats and bullied out of the game. Otherwise, Barrage have a path to victory, and a very viable one at that.
Fnatic comes in, finds the stun. APA Event Horizon down. 5Fire knocks him away, but it doesn't matter. You can't fight it! APA found the route onto Anda. Big is here as well, but it will not be enough to turn the fight. The stun goes down onto Winter. APA still putting out the damage, finds the Event Horizon, and Barrage make it out clean.
What do you do in the face of that? 5Fire doesn't even especially make a mistake, but if you get stunned in range of APA, the fight is just over. That's the third kill to APA. And let me tell you, Matt, the tracker is now beeping real loud.
6 stacks on that Darkseal, not exactly terrifying Medjai's yet, but 184 stacks. APA has ludicrous amounts of AP right now, and as we've seen, can one-shot 5Fire if given the opportunity. Because 5Fire is good, that opportunity has not been given over, but look at the assistance APA will have. Engages from Winter, engages from Fnatic. PCL even could find a chain or two and allow APA to set up those kills, set up those assassinations, because he's no longer just a mage at this point.
Rift Herald is on the top side of the map. Only 40 seconds before that is replaced with Baron, so it needs to get rushed if it is being rushed, and I think Fnatic is trying to do that. In the meantime, Drake did come up down bottom. I don't know that Fnatic, yeah, he should be able to get this. This is going to be close then. Doesn't get zoned off. If 5Fire had zoned him off, that would have been real sketchy, but I think Fnatic will get this Rift Herald. That will be in trade, and frankly, I would have preferred that Barrage dedicate their efforts towards getting a third Drake, but they decide to take an even trade and the Rift Herald instead. That will only be worth it if they can turn it into a turret, in my opinion.
To be fair, they haven't found any turrets thus far. Maybe they're feeling that they need to establish more map control, as they have lost all of their tier 1s in short order as Viper picks up the last one. And that is a little concerning for the macro prospects of Barrage, but I feel like you can just kind of wait it out. If you get that soul point, you essentially force a game win, as Gorica just gets dove on by Value.
Relkai's combo, Fnatic able to scare him away, zooming into the Cloud Rift. And that's enough. You see a man in a bear suit coming at you through the Cloud Rift.
Start sprinting.
You're either at a Tumblr convention or playing against Udyr.
And it will take away a second consecutive red buff. I don't know how much redder the buffs can get, but we're going to find out. Oh, never mind. Value took it. Thanks. You ruined my science, Anda. I wanted to solve that eternal question I had.
We'll be able to lock down some vision over there, and that's controlling the pace of the game.
PCL.
Viper, okay. This, I wouldn't have said was a fight they won dominantly enough to scare PCL back, but PCL certainly believes they have to Kai. Will now pop the World Ender and challenge that assertion. Viper zones him off with the barrel, and here comes Value. PCL's sixth sense is tingling. They will back away. Fnatic sets things up in the meantime, though. This could get messy.
Not going to just yet. Fnatic forced off and is still fighting the Grump. I think they just need to run at this point.
Yeah. With Anda coming around the side. It ought to be pretty scary here. Blue buff will be stolen away. Nord continuing to leverage their gold lead. You can see that across the board. Barrage's only hope at winning these mid to late game team fights is through APA, and I will reiterate that until APA is knocked out of the game or an unkillable god.
PCL looks for the knockup onto Viper, will not find it. He steps out of the chain there, but Winter looking for an engage onto Anda. This is a full team collapse coming out here from Barrage. Keep an eye on the north side
flank.
of the map. APA and Anda just passing like ships in the night for some reason. Viper finally gets knocked back, knocked up, doesn't find Winter. The shutdown goes onto PCL.
No.
But they just turn on the Baron!
They're doing Baron. 3 players on it.
Run,
the Kai'Sa
APA.
making quick work of it. No vision. Do Barrage? No. I think they have an indication they're moving quick up the map, but it is too late. Baron will be secure. Rift Herald will be summoned in the mid lane. They will get a turret in trade, but no org are able to trade positively across the map.
They might be able to get 2 if they can zone off correctly and deny anyone from getting into the tower. They should
There it
get
is.
the second charge easily
Ooh.
into the fight. And
He's gone!
Blows! 5 fire knocks him back, but Gorica takes away the kill. Value's low, finds the way in.
APA.
Magnet Storm from Big, but Value 1 health remaining. The TP finally comes out. Value forced out of the fight. There goes the tower. Viper forced to run back as Barrage win the resulting team fight.
You can't plan for that. You can't fight it. Veigar is terrifying. Matty blows up Anda, the late game Mundo. The Mundo with Spirit Visage completed. What do you do?
I think he planned ahead, TJ.
You're right. That's a good pun based on his name. Always plan ahead, which we oftentimes shortened to APA.
Well, I was going to go further with it, but thank you for explaining it, Peter. The one thing I was saying and noticing earlier was that Cosmic Drive is such a great pickup for Veigar now that it's had the mini rework. For anyone who's not familiar, anytime you're over 160 AP, it gives you an additional 10 to 20 ability haste, it's 20 ability haste and 10 to 20 move speed. So this is huge for APA, allowing him to run around in these fights. Find assassinations like that, no problem.
Yeah, and if they do not find a way to shut down APA consistently, Barrage will win this game. No org have taken too long.
Oh no.
Winter misses that headbutt pulverized. That does not feel good.
No, it doesn't, TJ, but Big is going to be able to jump over this wall, has the blast plant, will surely get out at this point.
It's
Dragon's
the
coming up.
second time Winter's done that this game.
Yeah. It's not a great look, TJ, I'm going to be honest. Look, give him some credit. He's had some good team fight engages.
I mean, you know, if you're going to lose anyone, I suppose it is that one, but every stack on that Magi's does help for APA, so you would have liked to see it picked up. Drake will go over. That is the third of the game. If Barrage had fought for it earlier, that would have been Soul, so harken back to that, but it certainly worked out for them to wait this long, because they are now looking indomitable. I don't know what no org do against this. Gold across the board is tying up, but again, I will continue to emphasize, it is all about that Veigar.
Winter going to be picked off here, knocked back. That's going to be the full Shurima shuffle from 5 fire. Magnet Storm in from Big, not going to be able to find anyone, but Value jumps into the backline onto the curtain calling Gorica. Fnatic tries to find the stun, but will be denied. Big chasing back onto PCL, who doesn't have the AoE to get the kills.
Here's APA.
And stunned up, low, cannot be taken down. That is so much
Whoa.
health, but PCL finds Big. The chase is coming out. Fnatic finds another stun. And healing through this fight entirely, but Gorica is the carry for the side of Barrage, finding after kill after kill.
APA will just sweep in through the back half of that fight, and the second he arrives, you can see things turn around. No org play that fight pretty darn well. You can see 5 fire starts separating the support, then you get a tag for Value. He sits on that Killer Instinct till he sees the curtain call, then he pops it, cancels the Killer Instinct, but PCL's found a flank. And once PCL kills 5 fire, then you're in an all-out brawl, and APA can just step up to the table and dish out some damage.
And it's worth noting that APA was never threatened this entire fight. Fnatic was taking so much damage, as was PCL, but look, this is the most flak APA took, and he just one-shot the 80 carry in the backline. So this is how Barrage win their fights. APA stays safe, Gorica takes the riskier engages. There's always a damage dealer alive in the back of the fight.
And for the first time this game, as Big goes down again, Barrage have a gold lead.
Big has been having a rough game. 1-7.
It does feel like Barrage pick a team fight every game and then just execute it. Last time it was Nocturne Rel, this time it's Veigar. No Orga running out of bans.
And the reason I point out Big's deaths is because it shows to me that Barrage are capitalizing on those warding expeditions, on those engages that they are turning into, hey, fresh fish, let's go fishing. And I think that is demonstrative of how they are playing around that Veigar, like you said. They're finding picks, they are finding assassinations where they can just burst someone down. Without a support, your team's gonna struggle.
Under tower goes Winter. PCL's on a long flank here with APA. APA moving real fast off the DP. They will just annihilate by fire. Values quick to follow. And this team fight is already over. This game is as well. Failing anything spectacular, Barrage have just fired the cannons. APA bringing them to a Game 2 victory. Bringing the series to a 2-1 scoreline.
Fnatic barely survives that fight, but not surprising. 9-1-7 is APA, showing us that Veigar pretty damn strong, believe it or not. Going to be able to push into this mid lane tower, soon to be the inhibitor, and death timers are fairly long, 15 seconds on everyone. They could go for the end here.
I think they've got it. APA just needs to stay alive, and there's just no way to get out of base. Yeah, this is real clean. APA burns down the turrets. Winter manages to isolate Viper. There goes the Nexus, and Barrage have the lead in the series. No Org, after an absolutely devastating Game 1, have failed to replicate it once, as Barrage launched 2 come-from-behind victories, and now are headed into Game 4 with the series and tournament point.